Hello, everybody.
Welcome
Welcome
back to
back
my
to my
channel. I
channel.
know
I
it's
know
been
it's
a
been a
long
long
time,
time,
but
but
I'm
I'm
planning
planning
on
on
being
being
more
more
consistent
consistent
from
from
here
here
on
on
out.
out.
If you
If you
don't know
don't
who
know
I
who I
am,
am,
my
my
name
name
is
is
Fazzy
Fazzy
Tater
Tater
Tots,
Tots,
and
and
it's
it's
nice to
nice to
meet
meet
you.
you.
Today
Today,
we are
we are
going to
going
be
to be
playing
playing
Slay
Slay
the
the
Princess.
Princess.
It's a
It's a
game
game
that
that
came
came
out
out
a
a
couple
couple
of
months
months ago.
ago.
It's
It's
about a
about a
princess
princess
trapped
trapped
in
in
a
a
castle,
castle,
and
and
you
you
have
have
to
to
kill
kill
her.
her.
So,
So,
without
without
further
further
ado,
ado,
let's
let's
get
get
into
into
it.
it.
The
The
Hero
Hero
and
and
the
the
Princess.
Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
The
The
end of
end
the
of the
world.
world.
The end
The
of
end
the
of the
world?
world?
What are
What are
you
you
talking
talking
about?
about?
Have
Have
you
you
ever
ever
considered
considered
that
that
maybe
maybe
the
the
only
only
reason
reason
she's
she's
going
going
to
to
the
the
end
end
of
of
the
the
world
world
is
is
because
because
she's
she's
locked
locked
up
up
to
to
end the
end the
world?
world?
Killing a
Killing a
princess
princess
seems
seems
kind of
kind of
bad
bad,
though,
though,
doesn't
doesn't
it?
it?
Can't
Can't
someone
someone
else
else
do
do
this?
this?
Ooh,
Ooh,
there's
there's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
options.
options.
Forget
Forget
it.
it.
I'm
I'm
not
not
gonna
gonna
do
do
it.
it.
Have
Have
you
you
even
even
considered
considered
that
that
maybe
maybe
I'm
I'm
okay with
okay
the
with the
world
world
ending?
ending?
Do I
Do I
get
get
some
some
sort of
sort of
reward
reward
for
for
doing
doing
this?
this?
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Thanks for
Thanks for
telling me
telling me
what
what
to
to
do.
do.
Or
Or
thanks
thanks
for
for
telling me
telling me
what to
what to
do.
do.
Sweet.
Sweet,
I've
I've
always
always
wanted
wanted
to
to
offer
offer
Monarch.
Monarch.
Viva
Viva
la
la
revolution!
revolution!
Viva
Viva
la
la
revolution!
revolution!
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Alright.
Alright.
If you
If you
don't
don't
tell
tell
me
me
why
why
she's
she's
dangerous,
dangerous,
I'm
I'm
not
not
gonna
gonna
kill
kill
her.
her.
She's not dangerous. She's just a princess. The danger comes if she gets out, which she will unless you do something about it. The more specifics you have, the harder it will be for you to do this very important job. She's a princess. People will listen to her because listening to her is in their nature, and when they do, everything will come crashing down.
That
That
sounds
sounds
pretty
pretty
overdramatic,
overdramatic,
but
but
okay.
okay.
Can't
Can't
someone
someone
else
else
do
do
this?
this?
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules.
Damn.
I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off.
Here's
Here's
Debbie.
Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Are you sure you don't make the rules?
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, She could easily trap you in her web of lies, and the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Okay.
Then each and every one of us is doomed.
Then each and every one of us is doomed.
So
Let's go
sure,
kill the princess,
go,
guys.
talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us.
Okay.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Not slay them.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Alright.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I guess so.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
No.
Then drop the knife.
No.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
Ain't nobody scared of you.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best
No.
not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Then I'm not talking to you. I guess we are.
I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her already. Or drop the blade. Do something.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here. Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through.
Ah, shit.
A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
Dang.
We can still turn this around. You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
I died. Ooh, I really messed this up. Bad birthday.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement, you're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I'm getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu? No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
Kind of. You guys can't see, but I got a kitty cat right here. See? He doesn't love me. He just went back on the desk. I'm pretty sure
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
Is it though?
That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning.
The heck?
That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
Alright then.
A warning before you go any further.
Okay.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Got it.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Are you sure
Right.
about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice.
Okay.
The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there. So don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear?
Crystal, let's just get on with it already.
Me and the voice of the stubborn.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Oh, stop bickering and just get on with it. Who even cares if there's a mirror?
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago.
And now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting.
Huh.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Yes.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I've been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. And you brought your little knife, too. Yes. I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
What happened to you?
What's that? Oh, that whole deja vu situation. Yes, it does seem like you and the princess remember each other, so let's say for a moment that I do believe you. For all we know, whatever happened to you last time was just a fluke, and beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember what happened last time. Are you okay? Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. There. Unpacking done. Don't you get it? We've been given free rein to wail on each other. Forever.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
You look exactly the same. Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again?
See? She wants to fight us again. There's no reason for us to stand around talking.
I'm sorry.
And why not? You decided what to do with me quickly enough last time. Are you scared I'm going to kill you again? Maybe you're worried I'll put you down for good this time.
Shut up.
If you want to talk, I guess I can talk. But you should come a little closer first.
Free her? You aren't. I don't know why I'm even bothering, to be honest. You know the stakes of the situation.
Who says I want to be free? I want the two of us to fight to the death. I want to feel your knife split my flesh. And I want to hear your bones snap beneath my fists.
Hey.
Is that really too much to ask?
Not really, no.
Yeah, especially that last part.
Oh, dang.
Don't be such a coward.
Exactly.
I'm just being cautious. If it comes to violence, we can find a way to deal with her that doesn't involve throwing our life away. I'd rather not die again, and I find it deeply disturbing that you seem to relish the thought of it.
Because it doesn't matter if we die again. It'll just be another opportunity to have the fight of our life.
I guess so.
We don't know that for sure, and I'd rather not bet on it.
She's gonna
Blade held tight in your hand, you take a cautious step towards the princess. You stop a few feet short of her reach, her chains taut as she stares down at you. She's a lot bigger than I thought she was.
Why do you sound so scared? We can take her.
Well, what do you want? Because every second we waste talking is a second we could spend killing each other instead. I woke up, didn't you? I like it. It's so cramped. Like the only way out of here is through each other. I know. You already told me. You don't either. Ugh, I care, okay? I guess I just care differently than you. When I saw you come back down here, I thought you would understand. I thought that we would want the same thing. But all you've done is ask me annoying little questions. It's like you don't even want to enjoy being alive.
I wish you could hear me right now. I want to enjoy being alive. I want to fight.
Why wouldn't I want that? Why don't you want that? It felt good last time. It felt right. And it makes sense. The world? If there's a world, I haven't seen it. There's you, and there's me, and there's the ground beneath our feet. Why would I care about ending something I've never seen? Here you go again, talking about my freedom.
Work.
The princess glances down at her chains.
If you're talking about these, they're nothing.
She steps forward, her bindings creaking under the pressure of her strength. And then they snap. It was only a matter of time, but she's loose.
Dear Lord. What do we do?
You took the blade. How about you use it?
Exactly. We do exactly what I've been telling you to do since the second we got here. We fight her, we kill her, we win.
What? Did you think you were safe standing right outside my grasp? The only reason I haven't drawn blood is because I want to make sure that your heart is in it. I don't like fighting someone with a weak spirit. But go ahead. Keep trying my patience.
Finally ready to complete your destined task, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess.
Here we go. Let's make this count.
Oh, we'll make it count all right.
As you bridge the gap, your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line of bright red blood. But she's unfazed by your onslaught. Her expression barely changes as her fist collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs and driving you right back down to the basement floor.
She almost looks disappointed in us. Why is she disappointed in us?
Oh, you don't actually get it, do you? That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me. It's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. It's only fun if you go straight for the heart. You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point? So don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. Kill me.
Don't let her get in your head. Reincarnation or not, this world needs you to win.
She's huge, but that probably means she's slower than us. Take it slow, think it through, and don't panic. Bleeding her out is our best course of action.
Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win, the only way out of this is through her. You push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered remains of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. For every glancing blow you manage to land, she slams you against the wall in retaliation, each impact threatening to be the last.
This weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her.
She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think overpowering her is a little out of the question.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping your skull.
How disappointing.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull and the sickening churn of what was your grey matter. Everything goes dark, and you die. You're on a path in the wood. If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there. Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it. So what? You'd have us cower in a corner? No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same
There's a
one
whole
we've been talking
conversation
to
going
since
on
the
right now.
beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. Then what is going on? What's going on is that you'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here, and if you'd already seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you. Well, fortunately, you have an entire trip through the woods to reconsider that. There's nothing to reconsider. We're all for violence here. Are we? I haven't signed off on anything yet. Violence is the answer here, but the method is equally important to the act. You can't let her leave the cabin.
Okay.
It's like I said, all just circles. Instinct tells me we need space, and I trust
I think
it.
this time I'm just gonna go up there and
Nothing
try
else
to kill
to
her.
say. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you... No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know, screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase.
Alright. Let's get this over with.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See? We have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it! Maybe it'll go away again. For something to go away, it would have to be there to begin with. Let me assure you, there's no mirror here.
There
The only
definitely
thing
is a
at the
mirror.
end of the room is the door to the basement. No use arguing. Mirror or not, we need to be there. The why we pick doesn't matter. I agree with the freak. Let's get a move on already. And worst comes to worst, we can smash it.
I guess so.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
That's
Good.
true.
There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any. You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it, as if you don't see it. You're rather committed to the bit, aren't you? The door's right there, it's right in front of you.
This really is just like last time.
It smells of nothing, yet it's... You reach forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement, As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead.
Why am I not surprised?
It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters.
I guess so.
Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I agree.
Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Goad her. Rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
That's not how this works. I'm all chained up, remember? How about you come down here and fight me?
Those chains were nothing to her last time.
There'll be nothing to her this time. But we need to show ourselves first to make her boil over. Fine by me. You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember every crack and crevice. We'll need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, and let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run.
I really don't like the sound of this.
It's the only way we live.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're gonna do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting. We've talked plenty. I'm sick of talking. I'm sick of waiting. I'm sick of you standing just out of reach and teasing me with a fight you won't let me have. You disappointed me last time, so you don't get to choose what happens next.
Bloody desire in her eyes, the princess rushes forward, ignoring her chains as they bend and snap. Run. Without hesitation, you turn back the way you came and scramble up the ledge towards the tunnel entrance. As you near the top, hands desperately clawing at jagged stone, you glance back. The princess is right on your heels. She doesn't bother to scale the wall as you do, instead digging deep into the rock of the cliff face with her fingertips in her rabid pursuit.
Anywhere you go, I will follow.
Good. You reach the ledge and hoist yourself up into the tunnel, the cabin door finally in sight, at once within your grasp and infinitely distant.
What is all of this for? What's the point? You and I are always going to end in violence, so why bother to run? I know what I am. Why can't you be the same? Little bird, where do you think you're going?
We're almost there. Don't think about almost. We're there when we're there. And we'll take the fight with us. Your skin hums tight with adrenaline as you burst through the cabin door and roll onto the grass. You glance back at the cabin as the princess, singular in her desire to destroy you, explodes through the doorway.
This is
You are
getting
walking a
intense.
dangerous path. If you waver once, it's all over. So get.
There's nothing left to slow me down. Do you think this is better for you? Do you think this space gives you an edge? Then show me. Show me that you've been worth all the room you've taken up in my head.
Do it! Be swift, strike true, be where she's not. Let your body move you.
Alright.
You leap from the grass and bound towards the princess, keeping low.
Charging me head on. Brave and foolish.
Her body braces for impact, anticipating the clash. That's where you're both wrong. Left, now! As the princess strikes, your body swerves to the left. She overextends, stumbling as her balance shifts unexpectedly. Strike. Before you can finish the thought, you lash out, the blade slicing through her leg. She turns to swing again. Right. You move out of the way, but this time it's not quite as clean. You can feel a bruise already blooming where her elbow crashed into flesh. It's nothing. A scratch. Yes, it could be worse. And you managed to gift her another cut in return. We're actually going to pull this off, aren't we? You just might. But don't let it get to your head. Not until it's over.
We're beating her now.
Yes, finally! This is the hole I felt in my heart. This is what I've needed. This is what I've been missing. This is how it always needed to end. Both of us giving it our all, beating and bleeding each other to death.
The two of you engage in a devastating flurry of blows, each of you wounding the other again and again. She's stronger, but you're faster, and the deeper the both of you fall into your lethal dance, the more your edge shines over hers. More! Keep going! We can't stop! Now! You spy an opening, but this time she's waiting for you. She lets you sink the blade deep, trapping you in place long enough to wrap you in her impenetrable arms. You're slammed to the ground. Nothing! These blows are nothing to us! But her gambit wasn't enough to close the gap. It wasn't enough to kill you. She stares you down, coughing up a splash of blood as she gasps for breath.
You've outplayed me, haven't you? Something feels wrong.
And? Then what happens?
What the heck?
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? I'm begging you, don't do this. It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final. That thing reeks of death.
Screw the mirror! We just need to find the princess!
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final.
It's okay.
That thing reeks of death.
Screw the mirror! We just need to find the princess!
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift
of a fragile vessel. I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you? A person, a set of eyes witnessing from one perspective. I think that you are more like me than you are like a person.
You could be right.
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks. How can the world have ended if we are talking?
That's true.
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one yearns to grow and struggle. Even now I feel a will pushing against mine, not realizing that we are one. She will make for a fierce heart. Do not mourn her. We will provide her with the growth she fought for. Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them.
Okay.
There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
Oh, okay.
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold. Everything, until we meet again. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow. If you need time, then I'll wait with you. She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Alright, everybody. Alright, everybody. That was Slay the Princess. Let me know if you would like me to continue playing this game. If not, then I'll figure out something else to play, and I'll play this on my own. I hope you all have a good day. Bye.